Welcome back, everybody, once more. This has been an awesome Retrothon so far, and once again, I'd like to thank everybody who was a part of putting this marathon on. Thank you to Anthole, thank you to Concakes for being my restreamer right now, my setup person. Thank you to everybody for allowing me to be a part of this again. It's been such an absolute joy. It's been another amazing Retrothon, and I'm going to end off my Retrothon experience here with River City Ransom EX, ending off this little Cuneo block here. I love this game. River City Ransom might be the first video game I ever played, and it's maybe the one that I played the most in my life. But this is right there with it. This is a Game Boy Advance remake that was released in 2004. I got it immediately. I was absolutely following the entire production and release process, and I will always remember the day that this arrived in the mail, because I think I pre-ordered it as a child. It was just, and I just played the absolute stuffing out of it. This is a repackaging with a completely new fighting and physics system, and so many new bosses and enemies and techniques and items. It's got so many new things. Unfortunately, it doesn't have new areas or anything, so it's still a very short game once you know what you're doing. But I have so much replay value with this game. You can even customize your character completely. It's so beautiful. We're going to be playing a category of this, which is basically the same as what we just experienced in River City Ransom, where we're going to be playing with a vanilla character. This time I'm going to be playing as Alex instead of Ryan, because his special technique that he starts with, Dragon Feet, or Dragon Kick in this game, is the best for fighting because it can hit enemies that are lying on their backs and on their stomachs. If I were to play as Ryan, he would have faster dialogue, just like Ryan in River City Ransom, but he wouldn't be able to hit people that are lying on their stomachs, and so that actually slows things down significantly. So Alex is the best to use right now, and you can play with an AI partner just like in Downtown Special. It doesn't cause lag in this game until you get an absurd amount of people on the screen, but he can also just get in your way. So I prefer to play by myself, just as Alex, and we're gonna get going in this version of the running simulator with the boss rush in 3, 2, 1, go. Now, one of the things you're going to be noticing I'm doing is jumping off the sides of the screen, because whenever you have the agility that you start off with in this game, you can move faster in midair than you can when you're on the ground. And I also jumped back into the first room of the game immediately after leaving it. That skips a cutscene later on, because it's basically telling a person who is going to be asking to join us later that we don't want him to join us before he comes and asks us later, because he also appears in that first room. And oh my gosh, people are blocking a lot right now. That's a little annoying. I'm going to stay here for a moment, spawn people on the right side, throw this guy into the pit, goodbye. And also, speaking of throwing guys into the pit, goodbye, touchdown! You're strong! So he had a shorter text there, Moose, because I hit people in the second room of the game, which changes the reputation that you have. There's an incredibly robust reputation system in this game that changes basically every single thing that you do. It changes if you breathe differently, and it just affects so many things in the game. Hello, Entrees, a 1% gang. There's just so much going on in this game, and we want the frat boys to appear in this room. I'm gonna give them 3 chances to appear. They are so much faster to fight than the mob. The mob take like 6 hits to take out. The frat boys, as you saw, take only 1. Yay, they appeared! Oh, that saves so much time. It's absolutely ridiculous how much time that saves. That guy hit me, though. That's a little annoying. I'm gonna wait for the 4th guy to spawn on the right. That tire hit absolutely nobody. That guy ran away. You see, they were only dealt 1 damage by that rolling tire, and it still killed them. That's the frat boys for you. I'm also playing in the easiest difficulty mode of this game. And Rocco, we don't need to fight him, because as it turns out, some walls in this game are not walls. Goodbye, Rocco. You have been yeeted into a completely different dimension. There are only 2 places in this game where you can use a fake wall to your advantage. That was one of them. Very, very beautiful. And I'm going to try a very tough quick kill here. Oh, I think I was a frame early. That's okay. We'll just do the backup. Only cost me 1 cycle there. Still a very controlled fight. I thought I had it there. That's a shame. And now, again, we did our death warp to backtrack back to Blade, and we have defeated him, and so now we just run all the way back past the warehouse so that we can fight the next required boss, which is Turk. It's basically the same sort of gameplay loop as it was with River City Ransom. You have to fight mostly the same bosses in the same order, and you don't actually... there are lots of new bosses you can fight in this game, but none of those new bosses are required. Hello, frat boys, appearing when I don't need to fight you. Lots of new gangs in this game. You see there are the dragons, we saw the eagles, so many new gangs in this game. We might see a lot of them coming up. I'm hoping to see the jocks here. We saw the mob. They are way too slow to fight. It's faster to just reload the room and fight somebody that's faster to fight than it is to fight people that take a billion hits to take out. You want to be able to fighting the weakest gangs in the game, so you have to be dealing the fewest amount of hits. That's the strongest regular attack in the game. Fully charged dash jumping weapon throw. I'm going to use it again. Boom, to start this fight against Turk. He's going to get stuck against the wall here, which is perfect. Boom, boom, boom. That's the standard Turk fight. That fully charged dash jumping weapon throw is very tough to set up, but you get used to it. The locals are the worst gang in the entire game by far. They have a pretty decent chance of showing up here. This is a room in the game where every single... of the 15 gangs in the game have a chance to appear. Most of them are bad to fight. We're fighting the frat boys a lot in this run. They're running the party at all times. I'm not gonna argue because again, they all go down in one hit. No problems there. Okay, Clark. This is the stamina specialist. He takes the most hits to take out. I'm going to try and use another fully charged dash jumping weapon throw. I was a little bit too low on the screen, unfortunately, so I was unable to deal a lot of damage to start out this Mojo fight. But we're just going to do some caveman strats, just going to buffer some dragon kicks. If I were to fail to buffer any of these, I would accidentally pick up the lead pipe there, and that would make my life much more difficult. But there goes Mojo. We have gotten $47. That's going to be enough to buy the item that I'm going to buy. We're not going to buy stone hands or anything, because we already have Dragon Kick. That's just fine. So I manipulated the game into giving me the pump sneaks on the top slot there. The pump sneaks are very good for completing the rest of the game. It increases our kick stat a little bit, but it also increases our agility stat significantly. Not only does that make us move faster, but it also increases the damage of our dashing attacks. Haha, you thought you could hit me with that brass knuckles. I was ready for you. Now, again, you see the locals a lot right now. They have a high chance to appear in this room. We got the homeboys instead. They take a billion years to walk toward you, which is a little bit annoying, and they also take a lot of hits, but they're pretty easy to wrangle at least. Boom, boom. Not too bad. I'm gonna wait for the guys to spawn on the right. Get out of here, and get out of here. And I'm gonna do the same thing to Thor here. Boom. Get out of here. He didn't even recover in midair. That's a perfect red kill there. Factory has been done. The person that we didn't have at the beginning of the game can appear there as a boss fight. You saw Ryan was there. We could actually fight him, which is kind of cool. When you create custom characters, you can do boss fights against them by having them in the unused slot. It's a very cool feature. Jocks here, interesting. They actually have more health than the Internationals and Endgame Gang, which is a little annoying. But, so I have to deal 12 damage to them. And so I have to hit most of them in 2 hits. I'm going to use a fully charged dash jumping weapon throw to take out the stamina specialist. And now a quick kill on Ivan. Got it. Okay, very nice. I was able to catch him back on his feet there. Whenever enemies are standing on their feet, you deal more damage to them than when they're lying on their backs. And so when I can catch them on their feet like that, I can take out some rounds of hits. Now a gym jump. We do not have to fight Otis in this game. He's actually optional. It took us many years to realize that. And now the final gang fight. If I get the locals, I will try to fight them. Let's see how. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So this is the worst gang in the game by far. They take a billion hits. It's impossible to wrangle them. And yeah, they just hit you all the time. See, they're still alive. And they do flying kicks and they throw their weapons at you all the time. Oh my goodness. Okay, hello. Okay. He's still alive. Okay, see, it's not that bad, but we're through. Okay, Dragon Twins. Oh, I just completely messed that up. I'll just try and get this back on track. I tried to do a version of this start of the fight called the Swaggin' Twins, and I jumped right past them. Now I have to buffer my dragon kicks, or else I'm gonna pick them up, which would be very bad. Okay, we got past it. Dragon Twins have been taken care of. They can get away from each other very easily. Now the climactic final battle against Slick. So this is the other place where the wall doesn't really work. We got him! River City has been saved, that's time! That is River City Ransom EX in 7.5 minutes. This is a far more forgiving game than River City Ransom. Honestly, it's even easier than the easiest difficulty mode in River City Ransom with the Japanese easy difficulty mode. The gang members are way less brutal, except for the locals. You saw that I tried to manipulate them into all being together in that final gang fight so I could knock them all down at the same time, but all of them at the same time threw their brass knuckles at me, and then they unleashed into their desynchronized flying kicks, and they're just so difficult to wrangle. And even with my powered up kicks with the pump sneaks, it took so many hits to knock them all out. The locals are just a nightmare, but I was able to at least defeat them there without dying. So that's nice. So in order to complete this game as fast as possible, you need a lot of great luck in getting all of the weakest gangs to spawn first try in all of the rooms that you fight in. And you also need to do everything perfectly. I love this game so much. It's so robust. There are so many little features in it. It takes a lot of the things they tried in Downtown Special and it perfects them. You can adjust the AI tactics of your AI partners. You can have 3 AI partners with you at a time. Unfortunately, you cannot do 2-player. You cannot do multiplayer in this game, which is one of the things that hurts it the most. It's such a shame, but it's an incredible single-player experience with a ton of replay value. So many options you can change. You can change the gravity. You can change just about everything you can think of. And so many people to fight, so many bosses to find, so many secrets. And I think that it deserves more love. And I'm really glad anytime I can showcase it at a marathon like this. Thank you again to everybody at Retrothon. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you to everybody who supports Retro Gaming Live TV. And everybody a part of that awesome organization. It's so cool to be able to do things like this. And I guess that's about it for me in this marathon. There's plenty left in Retrothon 2025, so stick around. Lots of cool stuff coming up. I really appreciate all of you, and have an amazing Friday. And I'll be around, but that's gonna do it. Thank you so much once again, everybody. Dream on, folks. Peace. I've been Seiria, and I will continue to be despite everything. Take care, everybody.